Hi, I'm Claire. This flow is going to have lots of different options in it. So you could probably come back and do this flow a few times and pick and choose which option works for you, hopefully building up into more of the advanced options. But do listen to your body day to day. It might go forwards, it might go backwards. Just see what's working for you today. We're going to start standing at the front of your mat in Tadasana. So the feet are together or they're really close. Stand tall. Bring your hands to prayer at the heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. So really think about the energy here that's coming up through your feet from the floor. Imagine that energy is coming all the way up into the torso. Pull the lower core in to keep all that energy within you. Let the shoulders just drop down the back. Let the head really reach up on top. Let's take 3 or 4 deep breaths to begin this practice. So a big inhale into the belly. And a big exhale. Inhale. Big exhale. Inhale through the nose. And now exhale through the nose. And one more inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Get into a steady breath. Breathe in and out through the nose at a pattern that feels good for you and a volume that feels good, that you can just slightly hear that exhale. Listen to the sound of your breath. And then let's keep this breath going as we blink the eyes open. Inhale, lift the hands up high. Exhale, forward fold, hands are in prayer. Take the hands all the way down to the floor. You can bend the knees. Inhale, lift halfway, hands on your shins. Press forwards, lengthen the spine. Hands come down, step back into plank pose. For this first round, we'll start by dropping the knees. Lengthen your spine. Lower all the way down to the floor. Low cobra, lift the head, drag your hands backwards. And exhale, downwards facing dog, lift the hips. Take a few deep breaths in down dog. Spread your fingers wide. And you can be having bent knees here on the tiptoes. Straighten your spine as much as you can. On your next inhale, look forwards. Walk your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, hands are on your shins. Length is in the spine. And then forward fold down over the legs. Lift all the way to standing, take your hands up. Hands to prayer, heart center. Again, inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step into plank. This time, maybe without the knees down. So we've got this length through the body, but the knees are not supporting you. If you prefer knees, then you can. Slowly lower onto the belly. Low cobra, lift head and chest. Dragging hands backwards. Feel like you're pulling your chest through your arms. Or if you prefer, upwards facing dog. Just the tops of the feet and the hands are down, arms are straight, chest is forwards. Downwards facing dog, lift the hips. Remember to bend the knees so you can find your straight spine. This time, step the feet together. Look forwards. You can either walk or a big step to the front. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing, sweep the hands. Hands to prayer, heart center. One more. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plank. Up to you. You can go to the floor or you can drop the knees. Or this time chaturanga, which is just a little dip of the elbows. Upwards facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downwards facing dog, lift the hips. Settle into downwards facing dog, take some deep breaths. Step your feet together. Either walk, step, or maybe jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to prayer at your heart. So we had some different variations in there. We're going to do one more, and you can pick which one you would like to do as we go. So, hands to prayer. Stand tall. Inhale, lift the hands. Exhale, forward, fold down. Inhale, lift halfway. You can step or jump back to plank. You can either drop the knees or lower slowly or lower chaturanga. Either full up dog or just take a low cobra. Exhale, downwards facing dog, lift the hips. 1 or 2 deep breaths. Step your feet together, bend the knees. Either walk, step, or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way to stand. And hands come into prayer at your heart centre. Surya B, slightly different now. So we're going to bend the knees. Chair pose, sweep your arms up. So it doesn't have to be a deep squat. And in fact, your tailbone is quite neutral here. So it's not really sticking out, it's not tucking under, it's just somewhere in the middle. Holding it here may be a bit lower. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, fold down over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step or jump back into plank. Lower down chaturanga or all the way to the floor. Up dog or low cobra, your choice. Exhale, downwards facing dog. See if you can keep your hands glued to the floor. Step the right foot forwards as far as you can to the hands. If it doesn't quite get there, then take your right hand and give it a little push forwards. Drop the back knee down, lift the arms into a low lunge. Take a big breath, pull in the rib cage, pull in the belly. Take the hands down, step back downwards facing dog. This time left foot steps forwards. See how far you can get it towards the hands. Drop the back knee down, lift up, low lunge. Again, pull the ribs in, pull the belly in, length through the fingertips. Hands come down, downwards facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. Step your feet together, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up into chair pose. So bend your knees, hips back. Lift the arms up, holding here. Pull the lower belly in. Lengthen the spine and the arms. Let's change it up a little bit this time. Inhale here. Exhale, forward fold down. Inhale, lift halfway. Step back up into plank or a jump if you prefer. Chaturanga or lower all the way down. Up dog or low cobra. Downwards facing dog. Right foot steps forward. Take your time. See if you can keep the hands down. This time warrior 1. So if you need to push the right foot forwards, then give it a little tap. Left toes turn out just a little bit, not loads. Lift your arms up. So, warrior 1, we're going to bend into this front knee. Try and pull the lower belly in so it's not a big back bend. But instead, we're still trying to close the ribs, pull the belly in, lift the arms up. And then just see if you can get your hips to point forwards. They're not actually going to point forwards, but imagine they're trying to. Maybe going a little bit deeper with the right knee. And then a big inhale here. Exhale, hands come down. Step back to plank. Either chaturanga or lower all the way. Up dog or low cobra. Downwards facing dog. Left foot steps forwards this time. If it doesn't make it, push it forwards. Right toes point slightly out to the side. It's about 45 degrees. Lift the arms up. Settle in. Bend that front knee, pull the rib cage together. Almost like, imagine your rib cage is like these curtains, and we're trying to close them together. Lower belly scoops up and in. Length still in the spine, hips as square as much as possible. Arms really, really reaching up. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back plank. Chaturanga or lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Take a couple of deep breaths. Knees can be bent, remember. Try and lengthen your spine, lift your hips, spread your fingers. And if you want to, maybe give the head a shake, yes and no. Okay, from here we're going to add on. So lift the right leg up into the air. Step it through in between your hands at the top, trying not to lift the hands. High lunge. So this time you don't need to turn your back foot. It's just the ball of the back foot. Lift all the way up. And then bend both knees. As you inhale, straighten your legs. As you exhale, lower down. Hands can come to heart center in prayer. Inhale, lift. Arms can straighten. Exhale, down. Hands to heart. One more inhale, lift. Keep your balance. Exhale, come back down. Take your hands down. Step back into three-leg down dog and downwards facing dog. Lift the left leg. Step it through in between your hands at the top. Again, push it forwards if it doesn't make it. High lunge, bend the back knee, lift up. We're on the ball of the back foot. So all 10 toes right now are pointing forwards. Pull the lower belly in, close the ribs. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, hands to prayer. Heart center, bend the knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more, lift. And lower down, hands down. Kick the left leg up and back, three-leg down dog. Downwards facing dog. Drop your knees wide. Bring the big toes to touch. Come down to child's pose. Drop your forehead to the floor. In your child's pose, come on to the tips of your fingers and then walk your fingers to the right hand side. It doesn't have to be really far. Drop your forehead to the floor. And then walk your fingers all the way over to your left hand side. Again, it doesn't have to be very far. And drop the forehead down. Bring your hands back into your center, into child's pose. Stay on your fingertips. Drop the forehead down in the middle. And then when you're ready, come back up to your downwards facing dog. Spread your fingers, curl your toes underneath, lift your hips up and back, and let's come back to down dog. Okay, from down dog, ripple your body forwards into plank. So start to bring shoulders over the wrists. Come back into that plank pose. Set it up so you've got this nice long line through the body. Drop the right knee down. And then lift the left arm up into the air, into modified side plank. So we've got a couple of options from here. This is fine. Modified side plank. If you want to make it harder, lift the back leg and keep on lifting. So imagine it's still lifting towards the ceiling the whole time. If it's okay for you, right foot can step in front of the left, or even one on top of the other. But make sure this right shoulder is right over the right wrist. Push the floor away, lift higher. And if you want to, left foot behind you onto the floor, point the right toes, and then open up your chest into wild thing. Hold and breathe wherever you are. We're going to step the left foot to the front of your mat near the right hand. And drop your back knee down, lift the arms up, come back into low lunge. Get really tall through the fingertips. So make sure the back toes are curled under. We're going to move from here to a 3-leg down dog 3 times. So hands down, left leg up, 3-leg down dog. Left leg forwards, left foot down, right knee down. Lift the arms. 2 more. Hands down, kick the leg up and back. Foot forwards, drop the back knee, lift up. 1 more, hands down, kick the left leg up and back. Come back into the lunge, drop the knee. So you can do 3 more, exactly the same, or we can make it a bit more difficult. Lift the arms. This time, as you take the hands down, come onto your right forearm. Left leg bends in the air. So this is funky dolphin. And then from here, come back. Left foot down, lift up, lunge. 2 more. Hands down, right forearm, funky dolphin, bend the left knee. Come back up, find your lunge. Lift up, 1 more time, hands down. Right forearm, left knee. Come back up, low lunge, lift the arms. Hands down, downwards facing dog, step back. Take a big breath. Same thing, second side from here. So think about plank pose. Start to roll your body into plank. Bring your shoulders over the wrists. Lower left knee, take it slightly out to the side so the shin can come out to become a stabilizer. Come onto the edge of the right foot, lift the right arm up. Modified side plank, you can stay here. Same as before, little options we can do. Lifting the right leg if you prefer. But keep on lifting higher and higher if you're taking this one. If you want to, left foot in front of the right. Or one on top of the other, up to you. If you want, right foot behind you, point the left toes, open up your chest, wild thing. Hold for 1 more breath. Step your right foot forwards, front of the mat. Drop the back knee down, lift the arms all the way up into your lunge. Keep those back toes tucked under, take an inhale here. Exhale, hands down, right leg up in the air, 3-leg dog, all the way forwards. Right foot down, left knee, lift up, low lunge. Hands down, 2 more. 3-leg dog, low lunge, all on the same leg. 1 more, hands down, right leg lifts, right leg forwards, low lunge. Lift the arms. Whew. Okay, so you can do 3 more, or funky dolphin, hands down, left forearm down, right knee bends. Come all the way forwards, low lunge, lift up. 2 more, hands down, left forearm, right knee. Come up and low lunge. 1 more, hands down, funky dolphin. And come up. Low lunge. And step it back, downwards facing dog. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Step your right foot in between the hands at the top. Drop the left knee down, but keep your hands down this time. So we can just stay like this if you want to. If you can, see if you can bend that back leg. Maybe right hand reaches back, takes hold of the left foot. And then we're not trying to push the hips down towards the floor. Instead, we're trying to imagine we're pulling everything in. So everything around your hips, imagine it's pulling into your midline. Hold it here, breathe through it. Okay, carefully, slowly release the back leg, just let it go back to the ground. Hands down. Okay, so try and do this at the same time so it works out okay. All we're going to do is slide this left knee to the right side of your right heel. So it'll be on the right side of the right heel. We're going to come to sit down into a twist. So you can't see from that angle, but I'm not sitting on my foot. Make sure you're not. And my right foot is flat on the floor on the outside of my left knee. Sit up really nice and tall here. So if this is too much, just take your right foot, step it over to the inside of the knee instead, so it's just not as tight through the body. And then let's find a twist. Right hand behind the back, press into the floor so you get taller. Left arm is going to hug around that right leg and squeeze it in towards the chest. Look back over your right shoulder, keep getting taller in your spine. One more deep breath. Come back through to the centre. And then from here, plant your weight into the right foot, hands down, just step it back. Downwards facing dog. Step your left foot forwards, trying not to lift the hands. Drop the back knee to the floor, hands can stay down. Same thing, maybe you're just lifting the back foot and it stays like that. This is absolutely fine. Or if you want to, left hand reaches back, takes hold of the right foot, and then we hold it here. Okay, slowly release the back leg, don't let it spring away. Bring the hands down. And then we're going to slide the right knee to the little toe edge, so the left side of the left heel. Sit down, adjust the back foot if you need to, so that you're not sitting on it. Make sure that you can adjust, that's fine. Again, if this feels too tight in your body, that's really normal. So maybe this left foot can step on the other side of the knee and loosen it up a bit. Up to you. Sit tall, left hand behind you, push into the floor so you get taller. Right arm is going to hug around the leg and squeeze it in towards you. We're getting really tall, we're going to look back over the shoulder, but we don't need to jerk the neck, so the eyes can start to look back. It doesn't have to be the whole head. Keep getting taller and keep spinning your rib cage a little bit more in this direction. And release. From here, look to the front, slightly different. Just release the legs out in front of you. Come to lie all the way down on your back. Bring your knees up into the chest and just have a gentle rock side to side. Let both of your knees just drop over to the left side and try and keep them close to your body as you do this, so they keep quite tucked up and in. So you can either just stay like this in your twist, try and keep your right shoulder down on the floor. So if your knees are hovering, just let the feet touch the floor and the knees can stay lifted, or just put something under your knees. If you want a little bit more from here, you can take hold of your right foot with your left hand. And I'm hoping you can see this on camera, but if not, it's quite easy. Just straighten out the right leg. So the left hand takes hold of the right foot. Left knee is still bent. And just relax here, close your eyes. Let's start to slow things down. Okay, and slowly come all the way back up. We're going to bend the knees, bring them into the chest. Adjust if you need to for the space that you've got. Hug your knees in towards you. Let both knees this time slowly drop over to the right side. We're trying to keep this left shoulder down on the floor as much as possible. So as much as the knees are going down, so is your left shoulder. It's pressing down into the floor. If you want to straighten out the left leg, take hold with the right hand, maybe just the big toe, maybe any grip you've got, and lengthen it out. Close your eyes and just breathe. Okay, let's release and come back into the center and make yourself comfortable. Come to lie down on your back. Legs are straight out in front of you. In Shavasana, hands are by the sides. Legs can just hang apart. Hands can fall either open with the palms up or maybe palms down if that feels nicer. And keeping your eyes closed now, let's just take a couple of minutes in Shavasana. In this final resting pose, just try to keep awareness of your breath. You don't need to change it. You don't need to do anything right now. Let's just take 1 minute of silence. If your mind has wandered off, kindly bring your focus back onto your breathing. Keep your eyes closed. Take a couple of deeper breaths. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle toes. Move your wrists. Move your ankles. Move your knees. Your elbows. Take a really big stretch. Arms can go up overhead. Point your toes forwards. And however you want to, just bring yourself up to a seated position. If you can, keep your eyes closed during this time. Sit however you want to, any position at all, doesn't really matter. But just sit somewhere where you can feel upright, where you feel like you've got space to breathe fully and deeply. Bring your hands to prayer at the heart. And thank yourself for taking the time to do this practice. Whether it's new to you or whether it's something you've done for a long time. Thank you for your dedication. And we end with Namaste.